everybody, how is it going? My name is Lucas and welcome to another episode of Drives with the Axe FX3. Today we're checking out a pretty cool drive from Barber Electronics called the Gain Changer. And guys, the first time here, if you haven't been here before, make sure you are subscribed. I do lots of cool stuff here and I don't want you to miss any of it. So without any further ado, let's jump right in and check out the Gain Changer. This is what the paradigm shifter looks like. That is what it's called in the Axe FX FM3, FM9. By the way, this just got dropped in the latest update. So for the Axe FX3, it's 2901. Whenever you're watching this, that's what firmware it showed up in. And it actually got added to the FM9 and FM3. Their firmwares are a little bit different, so I won't even try to quote which one they are, but it is in there too, as I'm pretty sure anyway. It's essentially a pedal that is made for single coil, so that's why I grabbed my partscaster. I have some single coil bare knuckle Irish tours, and then I have a Rebel Yell in the bridge. We're primarily going to be on the single coils today, and it is a very basic pedal. So it has gain, volume, and tone on it. It also has a little toggle switch up at the top. I don't believe the toggle switch actually made it into the Axe FX, but it is on the original pedal here. The toggle switch on the left is the EQ switch. This switch allows you to go from flat EQ like our LTD senior pedal toggle switch to the right to a thick mid EQ like our LTD version 2 toggle in the middle. So it's essentially an EQ switch, which in the Axe FX itself, we do have EQ that we can mess with in the pedal itself. So if you kind of want to incorporate that switch, you can too. So I have been kind of yapping, so let's check some stuff out. So here we got right here, we have the gain changer right here. Amp we're going to be using, it's going to be the Revv Green 1. And let me let you hear what it sounds like out of the pedal. It's just this just slightest amount of gain on it. It's pretty clean. It isn't super sparkly clean, but it's fairly clean. It has a tiny little bit of gain on there. IRs are from the GGD Contenders pack. We're using the Freeman SM57 and the M60. That's pretty much it. I mean, my output EQ, I just have a little bit of 500 turned down. So pretty basic settings. And I am going to do a little playing for you. This is the settings that you heard in the intro for the pedal itself. I'll do a little bit of playing for you, then I'll stop and I'll go through my different pickups and we'll have ourselves a dandy old time. I'm just going to start on the bridge. Like I said before, this pedal is primarily made for single coil pickups. That's how the pedal itself was dialed in, and I think it does a really good job with those, but I'll just kind of show you what it sounds like on the bridge pickup too. So, all right, so here we go. As you can hear on the bridge, it is super duperly hot. And let me turn the gain down a little bit. I find the pedal kind of thrives whenever you have it around 3 on the gain switch and the level is kind of hovering around 7. I'm going to actually invert the two of these because they actually work super well together. So now I'm going to be on the bridge in the middle single. I really like how this pedal sounds with some single coils. It just kind of makes everything come alive. You have some grit in there, but it's not too overpowering. And what I like the most, I don't know if I've ever noticed this with any other pedals, but I find it stays very consistent when you're switching between the pickups, right? It doesn't really change so much. It just kind of lets the pickup flavor through, if that makes any sense what I'm talking about. Because I find sometimes, especially on my Anderson, that one has stuff in parallel, right? So it's a set of humbuckers, but you can pop them in parallel, so you're just getting like one coil or two coils from each pickup itself, and it will sound different depending on how it's set up. But I find this stays really consistent through it. So I want to mess with the tone knob a little bit just to kind of hear like what it does. I'm gonna drop it all the way down. It has a little bit more brightness in it, I find, than it has bass, if that makes any sense. It doesn't completely like bass wall you off. Watch, you'll see what I mean. As you can hear, you can get kind of ice picky. But the tone knob is kind of gentle, meaning that like even when you have it all the way down, it doesn't completely like sound like a wet fart. You know, it doesn't sound like that. It actually has flavor in it there. I kind of like to leave it somewhere around, that would be 3 o'clock. No, that's 9 o'clock. Around 9 o'clock. And I just kind of like, or if you're looking on the Access stuff, somewhere around like 3 or 4 like that. Now let me show you the differences between the gain and the level. So I'm going to play for you, and then I'm going to completely switch both of them, right? I'm going to put the gain at 7, and I'll put the level at 3. So as you can see there, the tone does change a little bit, but they do interact very well. So watch, I'm going to bump up the gain, and it'll kind of be back to where we were with the level at 7. Alright, let's do some more experimenting with the level here. Let's jack up the level we had right here, and let's drop the, let's drop the gain a little bit. Now let's kind of see what it's, well, it's going to be back to where we were before. Find when it's like this, I find that you have a lot more low end whenever you're using the actual level. Let's play around with this a little bit more, and I'm going to get you guys out of here. So it sounds a tad bit thinner when you switch them. Yep, it does sound a little bit thinner. I kind of like it with the level up a little bit. It gives it a little bit more oomph. And let's run the gain a little hotter. gentlemen, I think that is going to wrap it up for the Gain Changer, aka the paradigm shifter. I really like this drive a whole lot. And as I've explained before, it is very, very smooth. It interacts with single coils very, very well. It sounds okay with the bridge pickup, but I just think if you're kind of going for that like single coil kind of clunky sound, this thing is like awesome. It's very smooth. I know I'm talking about a digital pedal, but it feels really smooth. I've never played one in real life. I never even knew about this pedal until it was added in Axe-Fx. I actually saw it on the Axe-Fx subreddit. If you're hanging out on Reddit, check us out, reddit.com/r/Axe-Fx. I usually post whenever there's new updates for, you know, Axe-Fx or any of the FMs. I posted in there, so come check us out. And one of the commenters in there commented, hey, check out the Paradigm Shifter. It's a really cool pedal. And I was like, oh, well, I didn't know it got added, so I checked it out. And it sounds really good. And guys, if you thought this video was cool, leave me a thumbs up. I would greatly appreciate it. Joseph spent some time with me talking about a random pedal in the Axe-Fx. Look, and I really do appreciate that. Gonna talk for a little bit about things. This is kind of the first, this is the first Drives with Axe-Fx video I make in over a year. I had one actually set up for the 1981 Rat, and I just kind of never came back. And recently, I've kind of stepped away from making videos altogether. I got kind of burnt out after I made my X88 video, if you can see it back there. I worked on that for a very long time, trying to get the riff right and just trying to do everything. And it took too long, and I knew the video wouldn't do like super well. I mean, it did okay. I don't think it broke 1,000 views, but I got kind of burnt out. And like I had neglected gaming for a year, so I've been kind of into more gaming stuff. I think I've gotten like 5 different older consoles this year. I got a hackable PS3, and I bought a Wii, and I got an Odin 2 handheld that I put a bunch of older games on, and I've been playing Dark Souls 3 again. So I've kind of stepped away from like making videos altogether, but it felt really good to make this. And I think what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna make like Axe-Fx stuff from now on. I mean, I know I probably should make like other videos, and then I do make other videos, so anytime there's like any like little drama thing that's coming on, like I'll make that. But I find last year I made 2 like drama videos, and they blew up, and they got more views than like anything I've made like all year. And I kind of got burnt out on it, and guitar YouTube right now is like not in a really good place. So if you're here watching this video and you're still watching me through talking to all this, thank you so much. Like I pretty much just make the video for you guys who hang around, who always like all my stuff, who always comment. Like, thank you so much, because that's pretty much the only reason why I stay going, because it definitely isn't for the money. Because YouTube, I barely just get enough to like buy a new pedal every now and then, and everything I get I pretty much reinvested back into the channel anyway. So thank you so much for sticking around. I'm gonna make my way through the different drives. I kind of went out of order, but last year when I made it, I took a screenshot, and there was like 69 pedals, nice, in the Axe-Fx 3. Now there's like 82, so there's more that are in there. So I'm gonna try and stay consistent, and I'm gonna try to make more Drives of the Axe-Fx 3 videos, because honestly, you guys watch them. I like making them, and I like digging into these pedals. So thank you for watching the video. Thank you for sticking around for my yap session. I really do appreciate it, guys, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.